Check one. Check.
In June 2023, Reem Al-Salem, the UN Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Women and Girls, presented a controversial report on parental alienation. This report has been criticized for its lack of scientific rigor and reliance on anecdotal evidence. Al-Salem attempts to discredit parental alienation, a form of child abuse where one parent manipulates a child to reject the other parent. Her biased stance is evident, selectively presenting information that supports her narrative. The report's lack of objectivity raises serious questions about Al-Salem's motives. By distorting the view of parental alienation, Al-Salem's report harms families and children who are victims of this behavior. She disregards substantial research supporting the existence and harmful effects of parental alienation. This manipulation of evidence undermines the credibility of her report. Al-Salem even had the audacity to call a press conference to publicize her report. At the conference, she declared that parental alienation is a pseudoscience. This is outrageous since her report did not research the scientific standing of parental alienation at all. She unilaterally made this declaration based upon her own biases and agenda. In fact, she has no credentials to have a say about parental alienation. One glaring flaw of Al-Salem's report is its heavy reliance on anecdotal evidence. Instead of a comprehensive review of scientific literature, the report leans on personal stories and isolated incidents. This over-reliance on anecdotes weakens her arguments and creates a misleading narrative. Al-Salem's report omits significant scientific submissions on parental alienation. Experts in the field who submitted their work for a balanced perspective were ignored. This omission paints an incomplete picture of the current state of knowledge on parental alienation. The lack of engagement with the scientific community is a serious breach of trust. By cherry-picking evidence, the report fails to meet the standards of academic rigor expected from a UN report. It's crucial to note that the UN Human Rights Council did not endorse Reem Al-Salem's report on parental alienation. The report represents her personal views, not the official stance of the United Nations. Despite this, some domestic violence advocates misrepresent the report as official UN policy, fueling confusion. Critics argue that special rapporteurs operate with a degree of autonomy that makes them virtually unaccountable. The lack of oversight and transparency in their appointment and reporting processes raises concerns about potential biases. Al-Salem's dismissive attitude towards scientific critiques exacerbates this issue. Her lack of accountability undermines the credibility of the special rapporteur mechanism. This casts a shadow on the important work these individuals are tasked with carrying out. Despite the flawed nature of her report, Reem Al-Salem continues her campaign against recognizing parental alienation in family courts globally. She advocates for policies that would make it harder to identify and address cases of parental alienation, potentially leaving children unprotected. An international team of experts has strongly opposed her efforts, exposing the misinformation and biases in her report. Their analysis has been crucial in challenging Al-Salem's narrative and raising awareness about the dangers of her recommendations. Al-Salem's continued dismissal of valid critiques raises concerns about her commitment to children's well-being. It is essential to challenge her campaign and advocate for policies that protect children from all forms of abuse. The debate on parental alienation must be grounded in scientific evidence and the best interests of the child. Policymakers and legal professionals should rely on credible research and balanced perspectives when making decisions impacting families and children.